What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this prediction video. For this one, we head back to the UEFA Champions League for the second leg of the semi-final clash taking place this Tuesday on the 7th of May as Paris Saint-Germain host Borussia Dortmund at the Parc de France. The two sides do have a bit of history in the competition this season, having met previously twice in the group stage, with PSG coming out on top, but Dortmund looking stronger overall in the group. It was, however, Borussia Dortmund who opened the scoring in the 36th minute at Signal Iduna Park in the first leg, after Fullkrug is played in with an aerial ball, and his first touch is just gorgeous. He controls the ball so well and then just rockets it past the goalkeeper. And despite both teams having a fair bit of very good chances, unfortunately, that was just how the match ended. It was a heated affair, full of action, full of highlights. But at the end of the day, Dortmund come into the second leg with a 1-0 advantage. We start off our team analysis with the home side here being PSG. Now, the last 5 fixtures for PSG have ended in 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Their last match was actually that 1-0 loss against Dortmund. PSG have not had to play domestically this week, so I would say they come into this one a little bit fresher. In these last 5 games, PSG have scored 15 goals, but they've conceded 7. I think the standout player for PSG has got to be still Kylian Mbappe. 43 goals, 10 assists. It's nothing to scoff at. Mbappe can score at any moment. He can turn defenses inside out with his pace and his dribbling and his trickery. And he can just lure defenses into making silly challenges, giving away dead ball opportunities like free kicks around the box or even penalties. I think Mbappe is definitely going to be a player to watch in this one. Next up, I want to talk Vitinha with 9 goals and 5 assists. I think Vitinha has really been what has been missing in this PSG side over the last few seasons. Vitinha has come in, he's knitted their midfield and their forward line together so well. He has given them more attacking options from midfield, and they're no longer just reliant on their front line. And I think he also is going to have a very, very important role to play in this one. And finally, I want to talk Ousmane Dembele with 5 goals and 14 assists. Ousmane Dembele used to play for Borussia Dortmund before transferring to Barcelona, and he now finds himself at PSG. And having scored twice against Barcelona in either leg, I think Dembele will now be looking to do a number on yet another one of his former employers. Dembele's got just as much pace, just as much trickery, I feel, as Mbappe, but I feel as though Dembele plays out wider, doesn't play as centrally. I do feel Dembele is more two-footed though, so regardless of which wing he plays on, he will be a threat. But I think the strike partnership between Mbappe and Dembele is definitely going to be a talking point going into this one. Next up, we look at the away side. Now, for Borussia Dortmund, the last 5 fixtures have also ended in 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Their last match was a 5-1 demolition job of Augsburg in the Bundesliga. In their last 5 games, Borussia Dortmund have scored 12 and conceded 5. So they're looking a little bit more solid at the back. I think the standout player for Dortmund this season has got to be Fullkrug. With 15 goals and 10 assists, Fullkrug proved in the first leg just how dangerous of a player he can be. He's the kind of player who has the physicality to hold off defenses. He's the kind of player who's got the first touch and the technique to control a ball. And he's the kind of player who's got that eye for goal and that power in him to be able to get powerful goals even if it's from range. Next up, I want to talk Jadon Sancho with 3 goals and 2 assists. Jadon Sancho has been struggling in recent years after transferring from Dortmund to Manchester United, and now he finds himself back at Signal Iduna Park. And if we look at the Jadon Sancho who played for Dortmund against PSG last week, and we look at the Jadon Sancho who played for Manchester United in his entire time there is a stark contrast. Sancho looks more free, he looks more comfortable. The confidence and swagger that he is playing with is just something that is gorgeous to watch. I think he's definitely become a game changer for Dortmund this season. Even if he's not getting crazy amounts of goals and crazy amounts of assists, he's an entertaining player and he is still providing a threat for them out wide. He's definitely a player that opposition defenses have decided to focus a lot of their time and attention on. And finally, I want to talk Mats Hummels with 3 goals and 1 assist. Dortmund come into this one with a 1-goal lead, and Mats Hummels is going to have to keep his back line solid, he's going to have to keep them composed, and he's going to have to make sure that they are level-headed when dealing with this PSG attack, who I feel like to draw fouls, like to lure the opposition defenders into making mistakes. And Hummels is just going to have to make sure that he and the rest of his teammates at the back don't give away any silly chances like that. He needs to make sure that his leadership is his most primary quality here. He is a fantastic centre-back. He can get goals when it's necessary. But I think here, Dortmund needs somebody to motivate them from the back. And I think Mats Hummels is the perfect player for that. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between PSG and Borussia Dortmund have ended in 2 wins for PSG, 1 draw, and then 2 wins for Borussia Dortmund. In these last 5 ties, PSG have scored 6 and Dortmund have scored 4. I feel as though PSG have had a few extra days off, obviously not having to play domestically this weekend, so I think that this is the best chance that PSG could possibly get to winning the Champions League. We add into that the dynamic that PSG are chasing a treble, and I would say right now they're feeling both a little bit of pressure from that, but also an alleviation of pressure after having wrapped up the French League last weekend as well with a 3-3 draw. PSG have been crowned French League champions and they are still in the French Cup final, so they're the only team in Europe still chasing a treble. Dortmund, on the other hand, are looking very, very feisty at times. We're seeing great performances from them, like they did against PSG, like they did against Augsburg, but then we're also seeing disastrous performances from them, like matches against Leipzig and Leverkusen, where Dortmund just sort of come undone at the seams. Julian Brandt, I think, is also enjoying a very fine vein of form right now. And then we also have to consider the fact that perhaps Marco Reus is most likely going to be leaving Signal Iduna Park at the end of the season. So this will be a gorgeous parting gift from Borussia Dortmund to a player who has served them for many, many years. Emre Can as well is still a player that Dortmund can look to bring solidity to their midfield. When we look at PSG, other players we can talk about as well. Guys like Ashraf Hakimi, who can provide a bit of attacking options from right back. PSG have really gone out and assembled a very clinical unit. But this clinical unit sometimes struggles in big matches. We saw that multiple times in the group stage in Group F, where both of these teams found themselves alongside Newcastle from England and AC Milan from Italy. And it was a mixed bag of results every week. We literally had a situation where every week at the end of the match day, we saw a different team at the top of that group and a different team at the bottom. And somehow PSG found themselves at the bottom for quite a few weeks. But they find themselves in the semi-final again. I think here, the main player that I think will have a lot to contribute here is Jadon Sancho. I think a lot of attention is being put on Mbappe because of those insane figures that he's managed to put up, and of course he is a superb striker, one of the best in the world right now. But I think Jadon Sancho has been kind of like a sleeping giant. A lot of people have forgotten about him because of his performances for Manchester United and the drama that surrounded him at Old Trafford. And he's come into this game and just taken it by the scruff of the neck and shown the world just how phenomenally talented he actually is. I think for both of these teams, this is a high-pressure fixture. For Borussia Dortmund, they could possibly end the season without any trophies, so for them, this is their last chance at silverware. For PSG, this is just one of multiple trophies that they're looking to add to their cabinet. But for a player like Kylian Mbappe, winning this would effectively mean winning the Ballon d'Or. This is a trophy, a personal award that he's been chasing for the last 2 seasons. It is an accolade that he will want to put to his name. And chances are this will probably be his last season with PSG, because I really do think that he will be leaving to join Real Madrid in the next transfer window. So this is a very important fixture for both of these sides with a lot on the line. I do think that PSG end up winning this one. I think the away goals rule, with that being taken out of the format this season, is going to play a role here. I think what will end up happening is it will end up being a situation where PSG win the match by a single goal. I think the match ends up going to extra time. And then I think PSG win it on penalties. I think this is a match that PSG on paper should be able to win. I would like to see Dortmund in the final just to get that German representation in there. But I do think that this is PSG's best chance, and I don't see them squandering it. The match could either end 1-0 to PSG, 2-1 to PSG, 3-2 to PSG, but I still think it goes into extra time and penalties, and I think PSG come out on top after that. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time. And the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.